Right now, across the country, India's massive digital infrastructure is expanding far faster than we can physically secure it. This chart shows the problem. Demand for 1 million cybersecurity roles crosses a supply of just 80,000 experts. At this intersection, salaries spike. This isn't a bubble. The DPDP Act and RBI mandates legally force companies to hire security teams. When compliance becomes legally mandatory, companies allocate hiring capital immediately. Organizations aren't negotiating at this stage. They are paying premiums to whoever holds the right credentials. While the broader IT sector is seeing stagnant wages and ongoing hiring freezes, cybersecurity is operating in an entirely different financial reality. But this creates a trap. When you see massive top-line numbers in the market, it is easy to blindly chase the highest gross salary and lose actual net wealth. To actually build wealth in this market, you have to stop applying to generic job titles and calculate the precise ROI of your specific certifications, your specific cities, and specific industries. Here is exactly how those numbers break down. This 5-stage career ladder stretches from a 4 LPA entry-level baseline to leadership roles clearing 1 crore. Pivoting from a non-technical background requires a trade-off at this bottom rung, taking a lower initial salary while acquiring a foundational credential like Security Plus. The payoff comes quickly. A standard software engineer at year 5 hits 15 to 18 LPA. A cybersecurity specialist at year 5 in the exact same company often commands 18 to 25 LPA. This mid-level rung is where earning potential detaches from general IT. The gap widens sharply if you have technical proof. The OSCP certification acts as a financial bridge to senior roles, triggering an immediate 3 to 5 lakh jump in pay. Earning that jump requires capital and time. The OSCP is expensive and demands intense, practical study. You have to prove you can actually breach a system, not just memorize multiple-choice answers. In general software development, tenure alone will gradually increase your pay. In cybersecurity, your salary is strictly gated by the certifications you hold. Without these credentials, you remain at your current pay grade regardless of your tenure. The second major variable dictating your wealth is geography. This table shows salaries across India's IT hubs. Bangalore looks like the winner, routinely offering 25 LPA for senior roles. But when you apply a cost of living deduction, extreme rent and daily expenses aggressively erode your actual take-home wealth. In alternative hubs like Hyderabad or Pune, the gross salary might drop to 20 LPA. But because they cost 30% less to live in, a 20 LPA salary in Hyderabad leaves the exact same money in your bank account as 25 LPA in Bangalore. By making that choice, you also bypass the severe infrastructure friction and 2-hour daily commutes that actively contribute to professional burnout. Negotiating fiercely for the highest absolute gross pay without running the math on what the city actually costs guarantees you will accumulate less wealth. There's a third variable most people ignore entirely: the specific industry sector writing your paycheck. This quadrant chart maps effort against salary premium. Mid-tier IT services sit in the bottom left, offering low barriers to entry but heavily capping your wage ceiling. Moving to banking or Big Four consulting jumps you into the high premium quadrant, earning 30% more. That premium comes with strict conditions. Banking security teams operate under extreme regulatory pressure, and consulting requires a high degree of client-facing polish. The absolute peak of the current hiring market sits in the top right. These are the global captive centers and US-headquartered product companies expanding their local operations. Securing a role at a GCC results in an immediate 30 to 50% baseline salary increase over a standard IT services firm. The barrier to entry here is brutal. You have to pass highly competitive technical interview loops. They filter out generalists in favor of engineers with deep AWS or Azure cloud security expertise. Your job title is just a placeholder. Ultimately, the logo on the building you walk into dictates the financial value of your labor. If you spend time online, you have seen the viral posts promising a 1 crore salary as a Chief Information Security Officer. That executive compensation tier exists. But reaching it requires 15 to 20 years of highly specialized focus, credentials like the CISSP, and the ability to translate technical risk into board-level business strategy. What those posts rarely mention is the liability. As a CISO, you assume direct legal and personal responsibility when your company inevitably suffers a major data breach. the CISO trajectory requires abandoning hands-on technical work in exchange for high-risk executive responsibility. Let's focus on a much more attainable reality. A focused 5-year career plan in cybersecurity can realistically place you at 15 to 20 LPA, putting you in the top 5% of all earners in India. Here is how you map that out. If you are a non-technical beginner, your immediate directive is to study for a foundational certification, accept the low entry-level pay, and get your foot in the door. If you are a mid-level analyst, stop sending resumes to general IT service firms. Acquire your cloud credentials and aggressively target the global captive centers. Regardless of your tier, calculate your true cost of living. Actively negotiate for placements in high-value, lower-cost cities to maximize the money you actually keep. Forget the viral hype. Top-tier wealth in cybersecurity comes from consistently optimizing your choices regarding certifications, location, and industry sector over a focused, multi-year timeline.